Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah, called Holayim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakha Kodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Shall keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14 says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right? Those woes being wars. Right? Wars that are full of destruction. Right? And this third woe cometh quickly, along with all of the other prophecies surrounding the third woe. Right? All happening at the same time. Right? So I'm not going to talk your head off. I'm going to let these videos play and I'll be back.
America, there's something huge on the horizon.
China is deploying 6 warships to the Middle East region. China is deploying 6 warships to the Middle East region. Why is this a huge problem? Because we Americans are sending this, a U.S. carrier strike group to the Persian Gulf. Now, originally it was supposed to go to the Mediterranean Sea outside of Israel, but now it's heading to the Persian Gulf, which is up here. Well, why is it going here instead of the Red Sea or the Mediterranean Sea? Well, who knows? I guess America feels like it can protect Israel way better over here than by Israel. Or this is some kind of weird display of power against Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, UAE, all of it. But with China sending 6 warships to the Middle East region, and if they're stuck in the Persian Gulf with a U.S. carrier strike group, are we now looking at a global conflict between the United States and China? What do you guys think about this?
Fort Bragg we just got word that Fort Bragg is deploying now. Fort Liberty is deploying troops they did not say
to the region, to the Middle East?
To the Middle East, so we'll be following that.
Okay, meanwhile, at 7...
We just got word that Fort Bragg is deploying now. Fort Liberty is deploying troops they did not say
to the region, to the Middle East?
To the Middle East, so be looking.
Well, what are you looking at? You are looking at 3 KC-135s. They refuel aircraft in the air. If you watched Tucker's episode 33 with the general that has been both in combat and the Pentagon, one of the things that he was saying would be very difficult would be for planes to land in Israel and refuel because it would be under such heavy fire if we got involved. Well, these 3 showed up along with 3 F-16 squadrons, 2 A-10 squadrons, and 1 F-15E squadron, along with B-52s, along with intelligence gathering planes, along with 12,000 Navy and Marines at sea on 3 striker groups, along with 2,000 special ops Marines, and there supposedly is a couple of more special ops already over there, and I have heard that there's been 30,000 deployed there, although that part I cannot confirm right this moment. I was also told that Tel Aviv and Hezbollah has also joined the fight. Again, trying to confirm that one as well. We have also had our bases hit in Iraq and Syria 10 times now. So that, of course, is a direct attack on U.S. So, why am I saying all of this? Well, because as Russia and China have called for peace talks and ceasefire, because they understand what will happen, how this will destabilize the Middle East if this war continues to escalate. Then you have the U.S. and you have Israel that have said, absolutely not. We're not going to stand down. We're not going to cease fire. We're not going to negotiate. Now, that's going to force Iran. That's going to force Turkey. That's going to force other Syria, to Hezbollah to take a side. Obviously, they will not be taking our side or the West. And by the way, I forgot to mention that France and Britain and UK have all spent special forces over as well. So now we have a bunch of, egotistical maniacs at this point that all have their itchy finger on the nuke trig and waiting to see who screws up first.
Hamas. This war is between Israel and Hamas, but backing them are two sworn rivals, the United States and Iran. In many ways, they're already fighting. Iran has proxies all over West Asia, like in Lebanon, Yemen, and Iraq. And these proxies have been targeting U.S. assets. We've seen drone attacks on bases in Syria and Iraq, at least 16 of them in the last 1 week. In each case, the U.S. forces acted in defense. They shot down the drones. But today they went on the offensive. U.S. fighter jets struck down 2 storage facilities in Syria, places where weapons are stored. These facilities were used by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. So the U.S. destroyed them. It comes after Joe Biden issued a warning to Iran. The White House says it was a direct message to the supreme leader of Iran, a warning to stay away from American troops. If true, it's a rare move. But Iran says no such message has been received. Here's a statement by their presidential aide. It says, if Biden thinks that he warned Iran, he should ask his team to show him the text of the messages. I'm guessing the airstrikes did just that. But Iran is not backing down. Their foreign minister issued a threat of his own, that too at the United Nations. He said if the attacks on Gaza continue, even the U.S. will not be spared.
I say frankly to the American statesmen who are now managing the genocide in Palestine that we do not welcome to expansion of the war in the region. But I warn, if the genocide in Gaza continues, they will not be spared from this fire. It is our home, and West Asia is our region.
Tough words there, but how serious is this threat?
Now, he said West Asia. You know what he's talking about? The so-called Middle East. Right? Because it's not, there is no such thing as a Middle East, man. That's a new term. Right? That area is really Western Asia.
Understand that, let's look at 2 things. 1, the U.S. deployments in West Asia, and 2, Iranian proxies. Let's start with the deployments. The U.S. has more than 30,000 troops in the region, 30,000. Yesterday, they sent 900 more. The largest presence is in Qatar. Around 8,000 U.S. soldiers are in the Al Udeid base. Iraq has around 2,500 U.S. soldiers. Syria has just 900 of them. Saudi Arabia and the UAE also have a sizable presence. Around 2,700 in Saudi Arabia and around 2,000 in the UAE. Then you have Jordan, another key ally of the US in the region. Jordan hosts around 2,800 American soldiers. Plus there are troops in Turkey, Bahrain, Kuwait and Egypt, basically all over West Asia. There are American soldiers all over West Asia, and these soldiers are backed by some major firepower. We'll stick to the latest deployments. You have 2 carrier strike groups in the Eastern Mediterranean, the USS Gerald Ford and the USS Dwight Eisenhower. THAAD missiles have been sent to Saudi Arabia. Patriot missiles have been deployed in Kuwait, Jordan and Iraq. And an extra squadron of F-16 jets has also been deployed. Like I said, these are all recent deployments. Now let's look at Iran. Their West Asian presence is not direct. It is via proxy groups, like the Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, the Badr organization in Iraq, and the Liwa Fatemiyun in Syria. We're talking about thousands of fighters here. The Hezbollah alone claims to have 100,000, 1 lakh fighters. They cannot match America's military quality. But like Iran's foreign minister said, it is their home. And home advantage counts. If you look back at history, Iran and the US have had an interesting relationship. At one point, they were allies, Iran and the US. In 1953, the US and the UK plotted a coup in Iran. They ousted the then Iranian Prime Minister. His name was Mohammad Mossadegh. And the reason was oil. Mossadegh had nationalized the Anglo-Persian Oil Company. He wanted the West out. So the CIA decided to topple him. In his place, they brought back Iran's Shah. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Unlike Mossadegh, he was friendly to the West. For the next 3 decades, there was great cooperation. In 1957, Iran and the US signed a nuclear agreement. In fact, the US taught nuclear technology to Iran. They also gave them reactors and fuel. And look how it's backfired. Today, Washington is trying to shut down Iran's nuclear program. Their era of cooperation ended in 1979 with the Iranian Revolution. That's when the Ayatollah captured power. The Shah of Iran fled the country. The same year, 52 Americans were taken hostage at the US Embassy in Tehran. Guess how long they were held? 444 days. After sanctions, freezes, and threats, they were released. But the relations were spoiled. Today, Washington and Tehran have no formal relations. Their main issue is Iran's nuclear program. Joe Biden came to power promising to revive the nuclear deal. But after this war, good luck. Recent events will give Iranian hardliners more power. They will see it as more reason to have nuclear weapons.
The Most High is gathering the nations for war. Right? And like I said, it's like everybody just forgot about China and Taiwan. Like, that never happened. Like, it ain't happening now. And it is.
The Turks are the open question. Turks are the open question right now. We know that they are preparing for the contingency of fighting against Israel and us. They were breeding hatred for the United States. They talked about Turkish forces resisting the U.S. military in Iraq. This is fertile ground for serious trouble with the Turks. And the Turks are unlike anybody else in the region. Once they commit, if they go to war, they're all in until the bottom is reached in the fight. They will fight like hell. It will.
Hey man, you can clearly see it. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, right? When is that time? It's now. When I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. We are witnessing the Most High freeing us. We are witnessing the Most High fighting on our behalf. You got so many doubters out there. So many people got so much to say about the doctrine of Hebrew Israelite, about the people in the Bible. So much to say, right? Then we're going to see how much you got to say when you face to face with these prophecies, right? Verse 2, Salak, Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Right? The Most High is doing this for his name's sake and for ours. Right? For us. Right? So let me go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49. And verse 14. Says, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together, and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Right? The Most High, Yahweh Shemi Shai, is gathering these nations together for war. And look who at the center of it, especially now. Right? And when I say at the center, I'm talking about in front of everybody's eyes, not just behind the scenes. It's them small hats, man. Right? And the Most High just said he gathering the nations. Why? For war. This place is done. It's over with, man. Whether you believe it or not, that's between you and the Lord. Right? The only thing I can say is, man, call Haloyim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakakodash for calling me. And Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I'm chosen chosen for salvation. And if you hearing this, and you can understand it, and you can see it too, Yahweh Shem Yahweh, you are called and chosen as well. All right. So I ended with that, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh, these precepts in this video were edifying. Kol holoyim la Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakha Kodash Shalom Yashalom.